Now, I know many of these matchups don't necessarily matter this week, but I still got to do it because there are some games that matter, some that have playoff implications. So let's kind of go over what's been set. The whole AFC has been set. We know that 6 teams from the AFC that will be fighting for a spot in Houston. It's New England, Oakland, Pittsburgh, Houston, Kansas City, and Miami. The only thing left to determine is the order. New England gets the number 1 seed with a win. Oakland gets it with a win and a New England loss. Kansas City can get the 2 seed with a win and Oakland loss. Houston's going to be at 4. Pittsburgh's going to be at 3. There's nothing else to determine from that. Miami can either go 6 or 5. The NFC. Dallas has the number 1 seed. The Falcons right now have the 2 seed. The Seahawks right now have the 3rd seed, but can get the 2nd seed with a win and Atlanta loss to New Orleans. The winner of Detroit and Green Bay is going to get the 4th seed. The Giants are the 5th seed. Nothing's going to happen. They can't move up or down. Tampa Bay can still get in, but they need a lot to happen. In fact, they need Tennessee to win. They need Indianapolis to win. I believe they need Washington, the Giants to go into a tie. They need Detroit to win. I believe they need San Francisco to win too. So they need a bunch of teams to win. But we'll see. Do I have Tampa Bay sneaking their way into the playoff? We'll find out. Washington gets in with a win. But if Washington loses, they're out. But if Washington wins, the winner of Green Bay and Detroit is in. The loser is eliminated from playoff contention. So let's kind of fly right through these because some of these matches don't matter. Like Baltimore, Cincinnati, they don't matter. That doesn't matter. But I'm picking Baltimore because they want Steve Smith Sr. to go out on a win. Houston versus Tennessee, I'm picking Tennessee to win because Houston's going to just rest their starters. Carolina, Tampa Bay, I think Tampa Bay's going to win that one because they know they still have a chance to get the playoff. But they just want to focus on getting the W. Jacksonville versus Indianapolis, I'm picking Indianapolis. Jacksonville will probably tank. New England, Miami. Now this is probably only one of 2 games that are necessarily entertaining. But I'm going to pick New England on this one. I feel like Tom Brady's going to have to play the entire game. Like Brady, Edelman, LeGarrette Blount, Bennett, Chris Hogan. I think they're going to have to play the entire game. Because if New England loses, their fate is in the hands of the Denver Broncos to give them the number 1 seed still. Because they know that if Oakland wins and they lose, the playoffs in the AFC goes through Oakland instead of Foxborough. And if the Patriots have the 1 seed, that is a huge advantage. It is hard to win in Foxborough as it already is. But to have to win in January, that is extremely difficult. So I like New England to win because their stars are going to play the entire game. Unlike years past. Chicago, Minnesota, doesn't really matter. Picking Minnesota because the Bears have a tank for a top 3 pick. Buffalo and the Jets. I'm picking Buffalo because I feel like that's the team that really wants to win more. Dallas, Philadelphia. Here's the deal. It's been announced that Mark Sanchez will take the most of the snaps and not Tony Romo. And that's the sole reason why I'm picking the Eagles to pull off this upset. Because with Mark Sanchez under center, the Cowboys are probably going to be stinking it up. The question is, how much will Zeke play? How much will Dez play? How much will Witten play? How much will Cole Beasley play? How much will Terrence Williams play? How much will that defense play? How much will that dynamic offensive line will play? How much are they going to play? Do they want to risk playing most of the game or most of the first quarter? Because Tyron Smith went down with an injury last Monday night. So do they really want to take that risk again, knowing that it's already happened to one of their offensive linemen? I don't think so. That's why I'm picking Philadelphia to end the season on a W. Cleveland and Pittsburgh. New Orleans and Atlanta. I'm picking the Falcons to win this one because I feel like this could be Sean Payton's last game as the Saints head coach. Whether if he's canned on Black Monday, or if he takes the LA job, or if he takes the Bills job, or if he takes Jacksonville's job. I feel like this is the last game that Sean Payton will be coaching as a Saint. Giants and the Redskins. I was about to pick the Giants, but I feel like they're going to rest everybody up for the wild card game against the winner of Detroit and Green Bay. So I'm picking Washington win, and they're going to clinch a spot in the playoff, meaning we are in a win-or-go-home situation between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Arizona and Los Angeles. I'm picking Arizona. Oakland versus Denver. I think this is going to be a close game. I feel like we're going to see a lot of defense in this game. I think Oakland's going to get a low-scoring 13-12 victory. And I'm not kidding either. Kansas City and San Diego. I'm picking the Chiefs in this game, even though I've been saying all year long for like the last several weeks, the Chiefs are overrated. Think about it. They had to come back in the fourth quarter just to beat the San Diego Chargers team. But the Chargers aren't a bad team at all. They've just lost so many close games. They just haven't been able to finish. In fact, there's been several games the Chargers could have won. They could have won against Kansas City week 1. They could have won against New Orleans. Could have won against Indianapolis. That's kind of 3 games. And they've beaten high-quality teams like the Falcons and Broncos. So they're good at beating some quality teams. But they just can't finish the games. So I'm picking Kansas City to win another game. Seahawks versus San Francisco. Seattle. I mean, 49ers just need to just lay down and lose this game. Although maybe there's going to be some fight in San Francisco. Maybe Chip Kelly's going to motivate them to end the year strong by playing spoiler to Seattle, because there could still be a chance that by this game, Atlanta could lose to New Orleans, and this would be for a 2 seed for Seattle. So now we're into the game of the week. Right at the moment, as my picks are concerned, this is an elimination game. So it's basically a wild card game. Green Bay versus Detroit. I feel like we're going to see a lot of interesting factors in this game. I mean, the Lions are just basically writing it off with Matthew Stafford. And I said that this would be Matthew Stafford's last year in Detroit if he wasn't successful. But now I feel like they're probably going to extend his contract, maybe an extra year or 2. Because he's just been fantastic for Detroit this year. But Green Bay, they're hot at the right time. Remember what happened when they won the Super Bowl. They had to win the last certain amount of games to get the playoffs. And they did it. So we know the Packers have been there, done that. And that's the huge advantage they have in this ball game. Even though it's a road game in primetime, I still think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to lead this team to the playoffs. Just so many clutch moments that Aaron Rodgers had. I mean, remember a couple of years ago against the Bears, that was for a playoff spot. It was 4th and 8, and he just chucked it to Randall Cobb. That's a clutch play. I feel like we might see reenactment of that. It could be like maybe he can lead a 2-minute drive to win the game. But either way, I think Green Bay wins this game. I think it's going to be a nice competitive game. Let it be the game of the season. I mean, if this game goes in overtime, the Redskins would be biting their nails, because with a win, the only way the Redskins don't make the playoffs is if this game ends in a tie. So as I said last week, you can't bet against Aaron Rodgers this late in the season. So that's why I'm picking Green Bay to win. I think we're going to see 27-23. Well, that's going to do it. Go ahead and like, subscribe to the channel. I know some of the picks didn't matter. I tried to be a little bit faster. But I'll have my playoff assessment once we see all 12 teams that are in. Share this with your friends, family. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I think you can do that now. But, all right, that is all I have for you today. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.